Hello everyone! Today we're talking about this guy here. This is the ready-made RC Anaconda. Or actually I should say this gal. This is a FPV airplane that had been discontinued for some time, and I was so much hoping that it would come back, and it finally did. The ready-made RC Anaconda is a 2-meter wingspan airplane, so that's over 6 feet. And she's a great long-range FPV platform. Pusher configuration, twin booms, 8-tail. There's some really neat things about this configuration and about the way that it flies. It is definitely not a beginner airplane in the sense that it doesn't have a lot of self-stabilizing features, but if you put a flight controller in it, that can help keep it nice and stable and easy to fly. So anyway, I'm excited to talk to you about it. Just wanted to show you what it looks like, give you a sense of the dimensions. And this one I have already made in it. So the maiden video is already on my channel. But this will be the overview and the parts, and also just kind of like the way that it went together, and just an overview of the build. It's a relatively simple build. I'm going to show you the parts. And let's get to it. Well, look what we have here today. This is a kit from Ready-Made RC, and this is the Anaconda. They have a couple of options on their site. This is a plane that, based on the YouTube videos, is about 8 years old or more. And it actually looks like they brought it back, and it's back in stock. And I don't know if they made any changes or not, but I selected the version for 6S. So here we have some of the components. We're going to look at them in detail. But right now, I just want to take it out of the box. So let's have a quick look, and then I'll take the parts out of the box. This is how it comes shipped from Ready-Made RC. Looks like it came to me straight from their supplier or their manufacturer. And it looks really cool. Looks like we have part of the tail there, some of the booms. These look like spars, maybe hardware. And we also have the wings in here. So I'm pretty excited about this. So let me take it out of the box. Well, there go some parts. And we'll have a look at the different pieces. Okay, so here's my Anaconda out of the box. And with all the parts, it sure looks like a lot of parts, but actually it starts going together relatively easily once you actually get into it. So let's quickly just review what we got. We'll start with the fuselage over here, and the fuselage comes in these two parts, and what this is going to be is just gluing them together like that. It's going to give us the fuselage. So two halves. It comes with some pre-molded features here, so that basically there's going to be a wooden part that slides in here. It's the tray for the battery. And actually one of the things that I was just eyeballing the manual, and it's kind of cool, is that this thing is designed to be installed in the fuselage, and there's going to be like a little bolt that holds it in place up here, and then you can actually adjust it forward or back for CG, so that's kind of nice. Hopefully that works well, depending on the size battery that I end up putting in here. And it's going to take some wing bolts, so there's some wooden pieces that are going to give it some anchorage there. Anyway, so that's the fuselage. And then these are going to be the 8-tails. So the 8-tail comes together in these two parts. It gets attached to the booms, so that's going to be nice. And then the wings. So the wings are interesting because there's actually going to be a good bit of functionality to these wings. So there's going to be two tubes that go in this groove and receive the main spar, and that is the main structure of the wing. But there's going to be another one here, and so we get a couple of plastic pieces that go in here for each wing. And I was just, again, getting myself familiar with the plane. So there's two sets of these. These are the anchors for the booms. And one of them has this little receptacle, and one of them does not. See, this one doesn't have anything here. And so the way this is meant to be is that the spar is going to go through there. So it's kind of neat that this will actually anchor the boom to the spar. So let me show you how that works. If I grab a boom and a spar from here, so this is the part that receives the wing spar, and it goes in there. And this other one receives a smaller spar in the rear. So this one goes here. And let's see if I can make this work. So I believe this one goes in here. And then, let's see, I'm guessing it goes in like this. I was just kind of test fitting things before. There we go. Okay, so there we have those two spars. And then here's the tail boom. And the tail boom goes into the bracket like so. And that is kind of neat because now we're going to have the boom, of course, is going to have the tail back here. But it's going to be tied into the spars, like the primary and maybe the secondary. And then these get two pieces of foam to cover. So there's two pieces here, and there's going to be one larger piece with a connection over here. And so that's going to cover that. Of course, we get spaces here for the aileron servo, which is going to move this entire aileron. And then this is a space for a flap servo. These still need to be cut out, but this flap here and this flap here are both going to work together to slow down the plane and to give it additional lift. So that is kind of neat. So recapping real quick, we got the fuselage, we got the tail and the wings with this spar structure, which I like because that means everything's going to be tied in, should be strong enough. And then these are the caps for the wings. So one of them is going to go there on the main spar, and that will cover that. So this part here needs to be cut out so that then it will fit on top there. And then these smaller ones actually get cut in two, and the smaller one goes to the left, to the outward part of the wing, and the little bit longer one goes on the inboard. So by the time you're done, you really only see the main boom. And you're actually not going to see a whole lot of the boom because it comes with these covers. So these are just styrofoam, but these are going to come, let's see if I can show it. Well, nothing is glued yet, so but you kind of get the idea. This is the way that it's going to be on the boom like that. So you're not going to see a whole lot. And then to provide even some more finish, these things are going to go there. So that's what I expect. It'll be a fairly clean build, and you won't be able to see much of the structure, just the foam. Okay, so we kind of covered a good number of the parts by now. This is just a canopy cover. It goes there on the fuselage, like a canopy. So that's going to clean up the fuselage. And then we got the miscellaneous parts, right? Like the motor mounts. This is a mount for camera gimbal under the nose. This is a bracket for tying the A-tail together. We're gonna have the parts for the wing bolts, etc. So it definitely does look like a good number of parts, but I can see where everything's gonna fit together, and as I start putting it together, well, I'm quickly going to start having fewer and fewer parts on the table. Now, like I mentioned before, this is going to be the 6S build. It's gonna have this tricycle gear. These bigger servos are gonna be, these are the Emax ES 9258, and these are gonna be for the two wings and for the steering. So I was already playing with the steering. I don't know what to call it, it's maybe like a steering box, but this one goes under the fuselage. And then the mount for the nose goes here. And so that's gonna be pretty neat. And I believe it's gonna go like this, so that if it bounces and hits anything, it's gonna go into the spring portion of this mount. Anyway, so that's gonna be the steering for the nose. It even comes with this little cone for covering the propeller. So you end up with almost like a spinner, or actually just a foam spinner. Comes with this aluminum landing gear. This is the prop that I'm going to use. It's a 13x8 electric power prop. And this is going to be my motor, which is the Sunny Sky. Let's see if we can see that. The Sunny Sky 2820, 500 kV, is that what it says there? I don't have my glasses on, so it's hard for me to see. There we go, 500 kV. And it came with this package from RMRC came with this ESC, which is a 60 amp ESC, Hobby Wing Fly Fun. So it should be a decent ESC for this. I'll do some power tests. And anyway, as you can see, there's a good number of little bits and pieces. Like I said, it looks like a lot, but once you start putting it together, all the pieces start disappearing quickly. So I'll do 1 or 2 updates as I build things. For now, the one thing I can say is I started playing with this and putting one of those bigger servos in here. And what I found out very quickly is that it was actually a little hard to get that servo in here. It was a very tight fit with this. And what I did is I actually took the servo without the horn, pushed it in from the bottom, and I did have to apply just a little bit of force bending this down, but then it went in. So that's a really good and secure mount. I just tested it. And you can cut the other horns, but I don't think it's going to be any kind of issue to leave them under. So I may just leave it this way. And this is going to work with the steering, and it's going to work with this little horn. So what you do is, and again, this all needs to be loosened before it will go in here, but then this together with the servo and the horn is going to give me the steering for the nose. Okay. So anyway, I'll post 1 or 2 updates. It won't be a full build video, but it will be as I go along, I'll pause and tell you what I've done. Let me know if there's a particular piece of the build that you're interested in. Otherwise, should be coming along, you know, in the next few days or weeks. This is probably going to be something that I fly maybe in the spring. It's getting cold already here in the Northeast. So it's something for me to do over the winter. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let me know what you think of this video. You know, I'm turning this into a build series for the Anaconda, so hopefully you will enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to keep them up in the air. Goodbye.